Empires come and go, but the Dark Age has stubbornly kept on going, at least according to Empires of Ruin, the showcase of this week's episode of Modded Monday, a series in which, on Mondays, we take a look at some of the interesting workshop mods for various games that we play on this channel. Today we will be jumping in as Byzantium, a nation still quite a bit weaker than their historical peak, but much more formidable than vanilla EU4. The Great Schism hasn't happened in this timeline either, so Chalcedonian Christianity is the law of the land, with pagans and Muslims encroaching on the Christian world from multiple directions. Another video, another Byzantium game, this time in the Empires of Ruins mod, which I would have talked about in the intro. Playing with a few other mods, but I'm probably not really going to talk about them a whole lot. It's just like idea group reworked and a couple of other ones involving trade hubs and large cities and stuff like that. Byzantium has a big beefy mission tree of over 90 missions, and we're going to be going through at least some of it today, probably not all. Obviously, starting off, they look quite a bit better than they do in 1444 in vanilla, and they are surrounded by a couple of different tags, namely Bulgaria in the north, and then over here we have Rum over in the east, but there are two personal unions that are being led in Theodoro as well as Trebizond, and we are currently at war with the Western Rebellion. It looks like Serbia and the Epirites are trying to get a little uppity and break free, and we're gonna have to put them down. Looks like we're basically already winning, so not too fussed about that. Up to the north, things are absolutely just broken and split apart, and to be honest with you, there's no real massive powers. Looks like France is split in multiple parts. The Iberian Peninsula is just a complete mess of random little nations. And religious map mode also looks a little bit different. We have Chalcedonian here instead of Catholicism, which, if you don't know, Chalcedonian basically is where the split, the schism happened. It was basically everybody was considered Chalcedonian Christian, and then there was the Eastern Orthodox versus Catholic split, and it was based over kind of like who the seat of power was going to be, as well as some issues that also occurred between doctrine and all that. But it's very deep in detail, and I'm not going to go too far into it. Otherwise, up to the north, we have Norse, Animus, Suo-Minusco, Slavic, and Romuva, which is pretty cool. Chalcedonian, which for some reason does not have an icon. It may be an issue with my mod, but there's also some flavor text that is missing, but you're going to run into a bit of that in this mod. It's very much a work in progress, but it looks pretty cool for a mod that was just released not too long ago. We get extra missionary strength and missionary maintenance cost, bringing people closer to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. But let's go ahead and settle this rebellion first and foremost. Oh, and I almost missed this. Bulgaria is also a subject, so we have Bulgaria as a subject, and Trebizond and Theodoro are both personal unions. We are led by 75-year-old Theodosius the Impotent, who is terrible, but he is very old, and our heir is a 666 Anastasios of Gothia, but they have really low legitimacy, so we're gonna take a hit whenever they inherit, but the 666 is good as well as just, so safe to say we are ready to get rid of Theodosius very quickly. Our economy is doing okay early on. We can definitely afford some advisors, so I'm going to do that. We have the rise of a pretender here in Thessaly, and I'm not sure exactly if I want to push that. I should probably just get down there and fight them, considering the fact that our heir is a 666. We do have a mission to rival the Emperor, which we obviously have going on for us. It gives us some PP, which is going to be very useful, actually. Let's head on down and fight these pretender rebels, because we don't want to worry about them, and fighting these guys in the highlands would be very useful for us. Laying the Foundations event, which will allow us to either gain aggressive expansion and restoration of union on a couple of people up in the north, or we can usurp the throne, which will give us 50 aggressive expansion. So this is basically giving us the option to push for personal unions on the electors, or just kind of usurp it. So I guess we're just going to go ahead and click that button there. We can sway the electors, or they will die alongside the emperors. So we could actually dismantle the HRE if we were able to kind of handle the war. Well, I think that is an option for us. Let's see who the emperor actually is. East Francia is the emperor here, and the empire is pretty big. It actually includes the Pope man this time around. My gut tells me to destroy it, as we are the Roman Empire, but I am tempted to sway them. I think we're going to try that and maybe see if we can make friends with the electors. We have the Byzantine succession crisis that is ticking up at 7.5 per month. If we got our legitimacy up, we will be able to fight that, but I don't see a way of us getting our legitimacy up. We also have a degenerate society giving us imperial authority growth, as well as all power costs, and a pope in the empire giving us a negative prestige malice. Interesting. These guys have a 1-4 general down there, and I don't have anything that is going to be really worth using. We do have infantry combat ability here, but that's about it. Well, Leroy Jenkins. Yeah, we're definitely winning, which is good. Oh, they took very heavy losses. Okay, I feel much better about this one. pushing the Serbs back to Belgrade. But yeah, there's nothing I can do about this. Looks like our leader is not Greek, apparently. They're Gothic. So yes, right. Our leader is from one of our personal unions. So let's see here. So this branch here is basically to rein in the people who we're at war with even right now. Once we crush the rebellion, we will get some legitimacy bonuses, but we're going to have to worry about this. We have to deal with the Byzantine succession crisis disaster in order to even get through this. And we do have a different age here. We are in the late Dark Ages. Some decent ones here, actually. We can get some core creation costs, tech costs, dev costs. Okay. And I didn't realize this, but we're actually the #2 great power, so there's something there. So the Byzantine succession crisis is here, and we can either oust our leader or give him a chance. He's 24 and a 666, so just on that basis alone, I'm very much interested in trying to keep it out. We can keep him, but it will mean we have to go to war with our personal unions, or we can allow basically one of them to break away and trade off rulers from them. I want to keep him, and I think we will keep him. This war is going to be a little bit of a longer war because I'm going to have to piece some people out separately, and we don't have naval dominance. So I think Rhodes and Crete and them are going to end up needing to get pieced out separately. So I'm going to give this a few months and kind of let it ride out, and we'll see where we can go from there. All right, let's go ahead and let the boys break away. That's fine. It actually declares each their own war, so we'll be able to pull them back in. Time to build up some galleys. We're definitely going to be needing those. So we have had somebody offer us help. Actually, the Seljuk Empire, we could get some help from them, but they would ask us for some land in return. So I don't think so. I think that is a no from me. They offered to help again. We have no manpower, but we do have money. So I'm going to go ahead and consolidate my regiments here and hire a couple of mercenary companies. Well, I can get a free stability. So let's go ahead and boost our stability. We need at least 2 to get out of this. So we have to piece out the boys and then have high legitimacy. So it's going to end up costing us quite a bit. So I'm going to go ahead and boost my stab. Take that extra stab there. Brothers from across the sea. Okay. Aid them in the defense of Christianity, huh? Lose a little bit of money. We can afford that. That's okay with me. We have a call for pizza, so I'm going to go ahead and piece out Athens to connect up our lands. I will also piece out Epirus, going to take everything we can from them, because we have cores on all this, so all of this is just good for us. And then if I click this mission, it will actually go ahead and unite the rest of those guys into one nation of Greece. And I'm going to go ahead and click that, which will allow me to integrate Serbia back into the empire. And now we just have to work through annexing them, and I'm totally fine with that. We now have adequate defenses, which is going to give us 2.5% fort defense for the rest of the game. And it looks like these guys are basically just, build up your nation, and then down towards the end here, you'll get scaling modifiers that get better over time. A triumph for Serbia, money and mill mana, but we gain some army professionalism, tradition, and some bonuses for Constantinople. That sounds fine with me. All right, I have just killed off the entirety of both armies for my rowdy subjects. So let's go ahead and head on over and get them sieged down. And Greece has formed, so I get to go ahead and work through these missions. Now I just have to annex the rest of them, and I don't have cores on them. I gave up my cores, but that should be fine. I'm not really too stressed about it. I have a truce with them for a bit, and then we will eventually get to annex them. We have an heir, Ionis here, the 432, so I guess that'll do. Chivalry has appeared, and now we have to embrace chivalry. Okay, and there tends to be another one at the end here, nationalism. So very cool. Not nationalism. Well, I mean, patriotism, whatever. You guys know what I mean. Oh, okay. So we can actually go ahead and enforce a white peace, make them a junior partner, and gain a stability. So that's really nice. And now we head on over and do the same thing with the rowdy boys over here in the north. I'll go ahead and just loot the crap out of them. I don't care at all. It's fine with me. And we will go ahead and do the same thing for these guys. Word to the mod team, if you're looking at this, use the add stability or admin power effect, scripted effect. Much better than just adding 1 stability. That way you get the 50 admin if you already have 3 stab, which I do. So it feels wasteful. But either way, we get to take Theodoro back. And with that, all we need is a little bit more of a legitimacy. And I will go ahead and click that button, and that will allow us to finish our succession crisis, gaining yet another worthless stability, some legitimacy, which is good, I guess. And for 5 years, we will gain a little bit of a modifier here. Okay, cool. Well, glad that that's over with. And we are an empire, and this is another mod that I have. This is actually Parma Lions mod, and we will become the Byzantine Empire because we are an empire after all. That actually might be what this is from. I don't actually know, but it just looks good. It looks nice. I like it. Not related to this mod, just something cool I like. So this branch here is industrialization. I'm not even going to look at it. This one here requires us to annex a bit of land, and I have been getting a bit of a spy network built up, so that way we can attack these guys, and we'll probably try to full annex them. We should have the navy to do it. I definitely think we will. We can pop our golden era, and I probably will do that. Earlier is better generally. I'll wait until we're caught up on tech and we have some mana to spare. That way we can maximize the amount we're going to get, because we're going to get our first idea group, and I don't really know which idea group we're going to go with. It looks like they've added a couple of extra ones in this mod, so we'll take a look at those. We do have the Theodosian walls here, which is giving some local defensiveness as well as hostile movement speed, which is pretty nice. Chivalry has appeared in Constantinople. Very nice. Oh, very good. A champion of the joust. Heck yes, I will take that. Well, I think technological revitalization is going to be our best one. That is going to stack well with our golden era. Oh wait, we don't have the modifier for the all power cost that we had before. Okay, that's really good then. Oh, this gold income is so nice, but it is definitely going to be giving us quite a bit of inflation. We'll make it work though. So here we go. We can now embrace tech. So let's go ahead and first of all get a noble privilege here. And obviously you just go with the manpower. Manpower is always the way to do it. We'll now pop our golden era, and then I will take technology here as far as I am able to. Let's go ahead and take out a couple of loans so we can embrace chivalry. That will make it even cheaper, and we will take all three of those. And then our first idea group, I haven't really decided on. It needs to be something that's going to allow us to basically break out of our starting position here. So I'm using idea groups reworked, as well as whatever this mod adds, which I think is Imperial, Great Power, and then I don't think it adds a military group. I'm a sucker for innovative, and I think I may just go innovative because it's going to save us a ton of manpower in the long term. I'm a big sucker for innovative, so we'll go ahead and switch on over. And right now I'm just getting the last of the claims that I need, because these guys are allied to Greece, so I'm going to call them in and annex them, because Albania is rightful Byzantine clay and Skanderbro is actually Greek. Did you guys know that? Skanderbro is actually Greek. All right, we got busted, so let's just go ahead and declare war. We will co-belligerent Albania, and we will take anything and everything that we can, and we do have naval dominance, so we should be able to do whatever we want in this war. Tons of spare mana, so we're going to go ahead and develop the crap out of our lands, because why wouldn't we? More money is always going to be good for us. So we're going to have to separate piece them, because it will not allow us to full annex everybody, but that is no problem for me. The AE is going to be not bad at all. We can actually even take some money, so let's go ahead and get pieced out of that war. Finish up this mission, getting us yearly legitimacy, and then we have crushed the pretenders, giving us more legitimacy, and then some mana, which is always nice. We also have a loyal Trebizond, which will give us some Diplo annex cost, years of personal union integration, which I thought was new, but apparently it's not, and some improved relations modifier, and the same thing will go with loyal Theodora, which will allow us to integrate those guys a little bit sooner as well. Go ahead and get our 10% tech discount, as well as Biz Siege's disc, which is going to give us 15% siege ability, which is really useful. Obviously, we're going to have to core all this up, and we will in time, but that will happen in time. Now, Egypt may be a good friend to have. We probably should make some friends outside of our general vicinity, because I want to start integrating my subjects, and as soon as I'm able to do that, I'm going to start breaking out, following our mission tree, hopefully getting some more lands, because once we reconquer the Balkans and we conquer Asia, which is pushing over here into Anatolia, we will get some very nice bonuses. 20% core creation cost for Byzantine Resurgence. I wish I would have seen that before. Would have saved me a bit of mana over here, but that's fine. Definitely going to want to be using that while we can. The heir has fallen ill. I don't really care if he dies, to be honest, so let him have it. I don't care. Let's go ahead and get our noble integration policy set up. Our boys are all very loyal, and that will allow us to start the integration process of these guys. It will go very quickly, and we can actually use the papal one here very soon. I can get the papal legate, so very, very solid. Look how cheap this tech is. 372, base is 600, so that's a good deal. That allows us to start building production buildings and letting our economy start to snowball. Another champion of the joust? Of course I will take him. Are you for real, dude? This one is a 4242, which is really good. I guess my other one died, so I will happily take this one. Plenty of claims. Armies are basically ready. Ardalan still will not join them, so I say I push my own claims. That's fine with me. And then we'll see what my subjects want to do from there. And my champion of the joust died again, so I don't have a champion of the joust again. A 411, Jonas, you are terrible as well. You also will get thrown out, my friend. I'm going to go ahead and take this. The military tactics alone is going to make it worth it. A 334, you can definitely be my heir, good sir. This is the peace deal, a lot of AE, nothing that I'm too concerned about. We will also take all of their money, and we are going to release 2 subjects. One will be Karaman, and then one, oh, actually, no, we will only be releasing one. I was going to release another nation from down here, but yeah, I screwed that up. But either way, this is fine. We now touch borders with our subject. We now have a good old friend over here in the south who is a not so based religion. We're going to go ahead and do that. It doesn't matter. I'll make him loyal. It's going to be totally fine. More triumphs, of course. Obviously, if we're going to be going the route of innovative, we could always go with offensive, which you can see here. Innovative offensive gives extra leader siege pip and siege ability on top of the 25 that we already get here. So I think I'm actually going to go ahead and go with offensive. So we'll switch on over to military idea group. We do have a half off level 3 guy, which is awesome. And oh, a Miltech discount. Heck yeah, baby. So you can see Karaman has cores on all of this, and in order to conquer Asia, we just need a couple more provinces over here. So should be pretty easy to handle all that. Go ahead and go with tech here, and we are going to take our offensive ideas, which is going to allow us to immediately start pushing through them. Take a look at that siege ability, 54%. You love to see it. We should improve our relations and get to work on incorporating these boys into the empire here. Another champion of the joust. That's 3. That's 3 so far. I don't know if they've affected these numbers, but oh my gosh, a 4, 5, 6, 3. You are an absolute stud. I will happily take you. So I had seen Carthage had formed, and I got pretty excited. I'm like, oh, hey, did they take Carthage from Ancients Reborn? Turns out I actually just accidentally left Ancients Reborn turned on. So this is from the mod. So that's kind of funny. But yeah, they are going to be quite strong, no doubt. They have a pretty good mission tree. They have a pretty solid government type. And it looks like they have good idea groups. I can't remember exactly what it is, but they're pretty solid. Let's go ahead and develop these guys a little bit, make sure that they like us because they are good little Christian boys, and I will happily make sure that they are developed if it means that they will be loyal. Safe to say our economy is thriving. We are currently still with 4% inflation, still running at 36 ducats per month. So I think we've won already. We have integrated the boys in the north, and now we have embraced these boyos over here in the east. So just like that, we are much bigger as a nation. And taking a look through our mission tree here, this loyal subjects requires us to have at least 2 subjects that have less than 50 liberty desire. Karaman is getting there. They are almost low enough. And Ragusa actually wants to be my subject. So I think I'm going to do that. I was looking here and it looks like Cyprus actually would do it as well. And there is Ragusa being added to our collection. And I'm also going to vassalize Cyprus because why not? It's another vassal to add to the collection. And that will allow us to get loyal vassals, which will allow us Diplo annexation cost for 50 years and liberty desire from subjects development, which is going to be pretty useful. We are going to immediately, as soon as we're able to, declare war on these guys because that will allow us to bring in the entirety of our cores that our young Karaman has over here, and should allow us to start pushing through a couple of these missions over here, and then we will reconquer the Balkans with Ragusa, as well as push a couple of our claims over here on Hungary. Go ahead and push our war over here. Herzegovina will get annexed, and then we'll probably just take whatever we can over here. It's obviously going to depend on AE and all that stuff. I love a good battle in the morning. Haha, feels good, man. Oh my gosh. And we are prosperous once more, having a ton of prosperous provinces over here in Greece, and that will allow us to click this mission, giving us a ton of bonuses in a ton of our provinces, mainly that local development cost and local goods produced. We also have solved the debt issue, which will give us a level 3 treasure for 75% off, which is quite useful. That is a lot of mana to be having. We also are able to collect the taxes, giving us the Byzantine tax reform. So at the cost of nobility loyalty, we can gain inflation reduction and a crazy amount of base tax income. We've also restored the legions, which will give us army morale and morale damage received. And then we have legendary commander giving us 10% morale of armies, 10% movement speed, finishing this offensive ideas off, giving us yearly professionalism, and more importantly, the big one that we're looking for, 15% siege ability plus an extra guaranteed siege pip. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of roundup over here and wipe out some of these rowdy bunches. Jonas of Gothia has risen to the throne at 334, which is pretty good, and we have this Lost to the Sands, which is basically going to allow us to choose which kind of path we want to go, whether we want to go humanism or zealotry. And of course, we're going to have to go zealotry. Why wouldn't we? Gives us a free missionary, so we can convert quite quickly, and we can actually take Defender of the Faith as well. And we might as well, because we have a very large army. We can also go ahead and go with strong duchies, and that gives them a lot of influence, but that's fine. I'm not really too fussed about it. This is the peace deal we'll be taking with Hungary, so we might as well just peace out these guys and have them give us whatever we can. Very nice. And we shall peace out Hungary, giving these 2 provinces over to Ragusa, our subject. Very nice. You love to see it, folks. And it looks like my mission tree is broken. I actually don't know how that happened, but it definitely is broken. Truce is up with the Seljuks, so let's go ahead and attack them for a Reconquest war. Egypt will join. I don't think we really need them, but we might as well call them in. It'll help out, basically broaden out the front here. And we should be able to just absolutely steamroll these guys. I'm not really too worried about them at all. A very reasonable peace deal, quite a bit of aggressive expansion, but alas, I do not care at all. We will be able to core up some land for ourselves, as well as give a ton of land to Karaman and finish up Cyprus's borders. And so we should begin the annexation process of these lands as well. Yeah, I don't know what happened to my mission tree, but it is all busted up, and I have no idea what caused it. Oh, the Lux Stella, we shall name him Alexander, Kaisar, or Johann. How about, well, honestly, all 3 of them are pretty good. I think I value the dip mana over the other one, so let's go ahead and go with Johann of Gothia. All 3 subjects have been integrated, and look at that Byzantine Empire borders. Very nice to see. Also, the Golden Horde is dominating the Seljuks, which I always like to see as well. We have reconquered Asia, giving us yearly prestige for 100 years, and we actually own all of the provinces, so we will get some extra mana, which is always nice to have. And now we have to push even farther into Seljuks lands, which I'm sure won't be an issue for us. And we're currently working on some manufactories to get working through these ones. We also have the Roman road system, giving us construction time and cost and movement speed for the rest of the game. Seems a little strong, but we'll go with it. We've also reconquered the Balkans, giving us a Byzantine Reconquest CB on Italy, as well as not some mana, because we don't own all of the provinces, but that's okay. We now have Cossacks, so we might as well buff up our armies just a little bit. And the Renaissance is here. Okay, very good. So I assume that the age is going to be ending soon. I actually don't know exactly how this works. So somebody has to discover the Azores, and then we will get into the Age of Discovery. So we really can just start going buck wild with this CB by the looks of it. It gives us a ton of extra prestige, less AE, and cheaper cost for every province in that region. So we might as well get on it. We definitely have naval dominance, no doubt about that. We have boosted production, getting local goods produced in a bunch of provinces that have manufactories, which is going to be very nice. And once we get the Parthenon upgraded, which we are working on at the moment, as well as the Theodosian walls, we can start working through these guys here. And it is time, my friends, to begin pushing these conquests here. And what better time than now to push over into Italy? We now have the Parthenon giving us 20% advisor cost, which is very good. And we are currently building a marketplace here to complete this mission here for Athens. And a beautiful trade hub giving us trade power 100 in Ragusa, Alexandria, and Aleppo for the rest of the game, which is also incredibly strong. These mission rewards are overpowered, I'm not going to lie. And Transylvania wants to be my subject, so I think I will go ahead and do that. Our truce with these Johns is over here, so let's go ahead and push out them. Egypt will still join them despite getting absolutely clapped in a war, which makes literally 0 sense, but we're going to go with it anyways. Not really too fussed. I think we'd literally just siege them down and we should just win. Egypt is now out of the war, making this basically done. Let's go ahead and embrace this institution, take these technologies all very far ahead of time. We've got more mana than we know what to do with because innovativeness is overpowered, and I guess we can kind of decide on where we want to go from here. Imperial seems quite good. The province war score costs an extra colonist, splendor, absolutism, AE. Though espionage is pretty good and it's got decent policy, so let's just go ahead and go with it. That's fine with me. We're already focused on Diplo. Let's go ahead and take everything that we can, start working our way down the coast here, and AE is going to be a bit limiting, but I'm not really too fussed about it. Totally reasonable, and we'll go ahead and take their money as well. That will allow us to core up all of that, and we are well into the Levant now. And stacking up modifiers, we're up to 96% siege ability, which is solid. They are going to allow me to just piece this out, and I will just go ahead and not full annex them if it means that I can get out of the war a little bit quicker. No complaints from me whatsoever for that, and it actually touches up our borders over here in Italy, so our foothold in Italy is looking pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and make these guys a march. They have defensive ideas, and they actually have fort defense in their national ideas, so their defensiveness is going to be incredibly good, and I can pass off forts that are occupied in war for that purpose, so it's going to be really useful for us. Oh, look at that. We are the Pope Man, the Curia controller of Byzantium. Of course, you guys all know about it. Let's go ahead and make sure that we are spending our Pope mana appropriately, and we have a papal bull that we can put through. Might as well go with some AE impact. We are doing quite a bit of expansion. Oh, Johann died. That is unfortunate. Let's go ahead and take all of the relevant lands here. It looks like the Egyptians are going to conquer that land down there. So we'll just take whatever they're willing to give us and get out of that war. And Georgia would actually accept vassalization as well. So let's go ahead. Oh, just kidding. They will not. But if I were to give them their core provinces, they may actually. So let's go ahead and give that a try here. And now we're too big for them. Of course we are. Well, I guess if we build up a bigger army, we could probably do it. So we might as well. We've got plenty of force limit to spare. And just like that, we can do it. So that is going to be very useful. Another nice march to have. Jonas, the 414, not the best, but I'll take it. Galicia Volhynia will go ahead and return this province here. And it's funny because these Avaria guys, this tribe, has settled over here in Carpathia, and they are originally from over here. Also, very funnily, Ardabil is massive, but Persia is also massive right next to Ardabil. And if you don't know, Ardabil and the Safavid dynasty is kind of notorious for being the ones to kind of unite Persia in like the modern sense. We have Cappadocia giving us some bonuses for the Syria region and will allow us to conquer that pretty easily. We are now making well over 100 ducats, and I don't even have trade ideas. So yeah, I think Byzantium is a little overpowered in this month. Look at this massive Iraq. That is crazy. And they're allied to Ardabil and Persia. So if we want to fight them, we're going to have to find an ally. Preferably over here, we've got a Buddhist Timurids who I think we will go ahead and ally because we can probably immediately call them in if I could get them out of debt. And I will happily do that. Send them a gift, small loan of 1 million ducats. Just help them get out of their debt and give them a little bit of money to build up an army, fight off their rebels. And they will join us, and they will effectively act a great punching bag. We will go ahead, we will take this Hama, we will go ahead and beat up on them. I have absolutely no fears about what is to come here. Oof, yeah, army quality is definitely just not there for them. Ardabil has some provinces that should probably go to Georgia, so let's go ahead and separate piece them out. A stronger subject for me is literally nothing I will complain about. So we will separate piece you guys, which is totally fine with me. A bit of AE, but ain't nothing but a number. For Persia, I will just take this bit of land here, which is going to be totally fine. Lots of money for us as well. There goes Ardabil. Very nice. Lots of money again. And now that we have textile manufactories unlocked, it's time to start unlocking our economy even more than we already have. Give Timmy a couple of provinces to make them happy with me, take everything that I want, and we will go ahead and piece these lads out. Very easy. We now border Egypt, and I think it's time we start making our way down there. We will now be able to push into Assyria and Judea, or Judah, I assume Judah is what it is. That will allow us to push into there. We will also get some missionary strength, which is going to be very useful, so I will happily do that. No longer the Pope Man. Feels bad. Not a big deal, though. We have upgraded the Theodosian walls, giving us fort maintenance for quite a long time. And all we need to do is have Constantinople at 50 development with at least 15 of each type of development. We're pretty close to that already. So what do you guys say we get to moving on that? Let's go ahead and separate piece Hissinkaifa out and then get coring on that. And then this war, I believe we're going to take everything from Judah all the way over into Cyrenaica. That way we can get working across northern Africa. The rest of it will just come in time. The late Dark Ages is now ending in 10 years, and their navy has now been sunk. Very nice. Lots of AE, again, just a number. I really don't care about it. We now touch borders over here with Tripoli, and we're going to be able to immediately start pushing that way, which is going to be very nice for us. And obviously, we've accomplished the retaking of Jerusalem, the holy city. So that is important, and Alexandria. So all kinds of interesting, important historical things that we have just worked through here. Taking a look over here, Champagne, Barcelona, and England, all very red and all very big at the moment. And up north, it's Danzig and Krakow making up the majority of the development in here, with Denmark eating up a large portion of Scandinavia, with Sweden hanging out in lower Sweden here. And Russia is still a mess, but Novgorod seems to be pushing to unite. The City of World's Desires giving us 500% local trade power in Constantinople for the rest of the game and 25% dev cost. These modifiers are entirely too strong. These numbers definitely need tweaked in my opinion, but I mean, hey, I guess if everything is as busted as Byzantium is here, I guess nothing is busted. So, you know, to each their own for philosophy of design, but I think this is a little bit over tweaked. Regardless, we can now restore the theme system, which will abolish the provincial system, and we will get the theme system event, which will give us national manpower and land force limit, or not. I think we'll go ahead and do that, yeah. If we have an army of at least 120,000 men, we will be able to start pushing through some other things. So what do you guys say we do it? Build her up right there. And here we go for the rest of the game: morale, infantry cost, and a little bit of discipline. And then if we scroll up here, because the mission tree is broken, we can impose fear, which will get us cost to fabricate claims and AE impact for 25 years. Pretty solid. Need to build up a couple of forts here, so let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and upgrade to the holy city of Jerusalem. We have protected Asia Minor, giving us some admin mana, and we get to decide on the fate of the Turks. And of course, we've already accepted their culture, so they can stay as far as I'm concerned. Now we will cleanse Asia Minor, getting us some culture conversion costs for the rest of the game. And now we will trade with the East, giving us some money, give Persia some money, and we will get some trade power in Persia, which is nice because we're steering from there. And now we will get the Byzantine Golden Era for 100 years, giving us tons of dev costs, all power costs, goods produced costs, and global prosperity growth, which is incredible. And if we wanted to, we could expand into the breadbasket, giving some modifiers in Egypt, restore the glory, which is to push our borders all the way up over to the Danube, I think it is, or something up in this area, which will give us some solid modifiers for the rest of the game, stacking up even more of those overpowered modifiers we've got. And then if we got a leader who is at least a 4/4/4, we will be able to make them a even better leader for the rest of the game. And then, of course, once we have enacted the Byzantine Senate, we will get 10% admin efficiency for the rest of the game, which is insane. So lads, Empires of Ruin, check it out if you are interested in it, and it is going to be linked in the description below the video. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Modded Monday, and if you did, make sure you leave a like on the video and subscribe for more to come. And a huge shout out to the patrons who keep the channel going, get early access to videos and exclusive Discord benefits using the link in the description. I hope you have a wonderful day, and until next time, stay chill.